Hello and welcome to Never Seen It, a podcast about movies we haven't seen yet. My name is Trent. I'm here with my wife, Betsy.
It's me!
Hey, Betsy. Today, we're going to do another rando movie that we neither of us have seen.
That is accurate.
We're going to watch the 2009 movie Moon, not to be confused with Dune.
Or Doom, if you want,
Or
if
Doom.
you will. Or Moonfall. There's a lot of moon movies.
Betsy, like I said, we haven't watched this movie.
We have not.
It is starring Sam Rockwell, which I think the reason why we chose this one is because just recently we watched Iron Man 2, and Sam Rockwell is in that, and he's always great.
He is.
So, since then he's won an Oscar for the Two Billboards movie, and
3 billboards.
3 billboards. That's right.
It's
That's right.
3 billboards.
3 billboards. So we've heard a lot of good things about this movie. I didn't really know much going in before we just watched a trailer.
Yeah, classify this one under best kept secrets probably.
Yeah.
Because this has a really high rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
And when I have heard people talk about the best movies you haven't seen, this one is often mentioned.
Yeah.
But we haven't watched it for no particular reason. We just haven't gotten around to it.
Right, and of course this came out before we were together by a couple of years, and I don't think it was like highly available for streaming in a lot of places, but since the past few years, there's a lot more services for one thing.
I was going to say, from the time we got together to now, when this movie came out,
Right.
This is probably available on a lot more platforms.
Sure. So, just based on what you have heard, the trailer, what can you tell me about Moon?
So before we watched the trailer, I would have been able to tell you it's Sam Rockwell and he's on the moon. And beyond that, I have this memory of there being 2 of him, but I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, we get a little bit of that in the trailer.
And yeah, when we just watched the trailer, the long and short is he is the lone employee of this moon base.
Yeah.
And his tenure is almost up, but
He's up there for 3 years by himself.
talking to
but
a computer.
There is a computer Hal type of dude, voiced by Kevin Spacey.
Yes.
Now, we're not going to get into that.
This was 2009
This
when
was
that
2009.
was still okay.
We're not going to get into it. Anyway.
I enjoy a good sci-fi, and the question that is in this movie is obviously, is he just insane because he's been alone on the moon for 3 years?
Does he got the space madness?
Or is some crazy shit going on?
Yeah.
So we'll find out, but I honestly do not know much about this movie. And even the trailer doesn't really tell you much.
Yeah.
All I know is it's got a good rating, and I've heard people say they like it.
Yeah.
So have you heard anything else about this movie beyond that?
No, all I've ever heard is from you and seeing people talking about it online, just saying it's good. That's the extent of it. It's like, hey, go watch Moon. It's good.
Well, we're gonna.
Well, and this movie being, it's just a few actors. Sam Rockwell has to carry this entire movie.
Yes.
So I'm really curious to see how he does with that and who else shows up. Because there's going to be other people, of course. Because we see him in the trailer talking to other people via video chat. Kevin Spacey is a computer man. So there's going to be some kind of dialogue and interaction. Maybe more than what's in 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, and yeah, in 2001, there's more scenes in the before and after where there's other people.
Right.
But this one, I think...
This seems like it's all on the moon.
Oh, yeah. And Sam Rockwell is rarely the star of anything. He's usually the supporting actor. So this is kind of an unusual foray to see him as the star of the movie.
Right. Well, I think that's about the extent of our knowledge about this one. So let's actually go watch the movie. We're going to go watch Moon. We'll be right back. We're back. So that was Moon. I keep having to stop myself from saying Dune.
Different movie.
Different movie. What did you think of Moon, Betsy?
Yeah, I liked that. It was very interesting.
Yeah. It didn't really keep my attention early on, but it got better.
Right, because at the beginning you're like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
And then as it kind of starts unfolding
Yeah,
the
it
plot
starts
a little
revealing
bit.
things very slowly, and by the end of it, yeah, it got me.
Yeah, and it's very much a low budget movie.
Yeah.
Like they fit, I said at the end, every actor in this movie fit on one page of credits.
Right.
And a couple of them were only on a TV screen.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody but Sam Rockwell was only seen on a recording.
Right.
The music is like piano, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was very low budget, but very well executed.
I think so, because they didn't really have to do too much as far as like special effects.
No.
Like Gertie was about the only thing that they really had to do, and you could definitely tell that was a low budget kind of a thing, because similar things existed back in 08, 09, and they looked a lot better than this. But again, I'm not going to fault it for that. But and of course, being in space, you're kind of giving it some leeway here as far as gravity and all sorts of other things
Yes,
that
they
normally would be introduced in a sci-fi movie.
They don't say artificial gravity at any time. You just
No.
sort of assume it because when he's
Right.
in the base, he's just walking around and
It's
doing
just
his life like normal.
Yeah.
And it's only when he goes out on little missions that you can tell there's a change in the gravity.
To a point, yes.
To a point. But then, like, his vehicle is fixed up so that he can take his helmet off and he's able to breathe.
Yeah.
And yeah, they make it just believable enough that it's like, this makes sense for where we're applying the logic.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to bring up, I find it interesting how we as a society have decided what space, what a space station looks like, how it would be designed. The font in particular is what's always interesting. Like it says Bay 1, Bay 2, Bay 3, and it's always that same font, that NASA font.
Yeah, and you know, it makes sense based on where it's coming from, because they would probably just keep that over from actual stuff that
Right.
NASA has done.
Right, and it's all white and gray. It's very much a space
Very
station.
muted. There's no color anywhere.
Why
It's very
don't we
white
have
and gray.
color in the future? Like, why can't we have a brightly colored space station? Some blue, some red, something? A
I don't
sunny
know.
yellow?
I don't know. That's a good point.
This is true sci-fi in that we get a gray and gloomy and cold space station. So that was one thing. Another thing I didn't know about this movie is this was written and directed by Duncan Jones. And I had to point out to you who Duncan Jones is because you were not aware.
Uh-huh.
Duncan Jones is David Bowie's son.
Yeah.
So he's not a musician, but he is in filmmaking. And he's made some other things too.
I've heard
but
the
this,
name.
I think, is his big one.
Yeah, I've heard the name before, but
Yeah.
nothing really comes to mind like what he's done.
No, and I mean, a name like Duncan Jones is not exactly
No.
something you remember that often.
Yeah.
It's very simple. But yes, that is David Bowie's son.
All right, then.
Just a fun little nugget for you.
Yeah. So I think the best way to cover this movie is to just kind of go through the beats, because there's not a lot that happens here that we can react to, because essentially the big overarching story here is that this is a evil corporation kind of a movie.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you can drill it down to be.
And we don't even get the full scope of what's going on here. You kind of
No.
are left to your own imagination to
Yeah,
figure
they
out
give
some
a little
pieces.
bit of what happens in the quote-unquote future after he gets back to Earth, but you don't really you're left to fill in the pieces, fill in the blanks yourself.
Yeah.
So we're in the future. It is, I think he said it was 2026.
I didn't even catch the year.
I think it's 26.
But yeah, this is in the future, and they're talking about how it's like a commercial for a fuel company.
Yeah, it's an energy company.
An energy company.
And it's like giving you this rosy picture of what life is now as opposed to what it used to be. We used to have, dirty energy and it would pollute the atmosphere.
Brownouts and...
Yeah, rolling brownouts and blackouts and whatever else. It was a horrible situation. But now we've discovered fusion energy that they harness from moon rocks.
Yeah, so the energy of the sun is absorbed into the rocks on the moon, and they have big combine basically harvesters picking up rocks and getting the fuel.
They're basically strip mining the moon.
Yeah. Yes.
For this energy. And they put it into these concentrated canisters and send them back to the Earth.
Yes.
They call it helium-3.
Helium-3, and it's the most powerful energy. It's the best energy.
It's clean.
It's clean.
Yeah.
And so they have one guy on a 3-year mission on the moon.
He has a 3-year contract to be up there by himself with an AI.
Yes.
As a
helper. He's got a little AI robot.
Played by Kevin Spacey.
Voiced by Kevin Spacey.
Sure, yeah.
And he goes out and, grabs the canisters when they're full, and he pops them in the little thing, and they fly back to Earth.
Pretty much.
And that's all he does.
His job is to go out there and harvest the harvesters.
Yep.
And I suppose probably fix them or notify when things need maintenance and things like that. He's just kind of a caretaker of everything.
Right, but then he mentions that they can't send messages. Like he can send messages, but they're all recorded.
Yeah, it's just like pre-recorded messages in and out. There's no live feed.
Right, there's no relay.
Because, and we find out later, there's actual antennas and other apparatuses outside of their main base preventing things from coming in and coming out.
They are blocking the signal. They are actively blocking the signal. But they've told him that something is broken.
Right,
so, we're working on it.
Yeah,
we're working on it.
Satellite got hit, and communications are down, and you're just going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, we can send you messages, but they're going to be pre-recorded, and you can send us messages, but we'll get them when we get them.
Right.
And that's the only communication with the outside of his place that he has.
Right. And he does the thing where he receives messages from his family.
His wife and his daughter.
His wife and daughter. And that's just kind of his life. It's these 3 years that he's there, he's away from his family, then he gets to go home at the end. Mm-hmm. And when we first meet Sam Rockwell, his name is Sam.
Very complex.
Love
to
the simplicity here. When we first meet Sam, he's got 2 weeks left on his contract. He's going to go home.
He's got a big beard and long hair, and he's a little goofy.
Right. And, we talked about, he's got the space madness. Well, that's what happened in any case. If you're off by yourself for however long, fucking I work from home and I get lonely.
You go a little kooky
I
sometimes.
go a little crazy.
And you're talking to people on the phone at least, but there's no one else in this house.
No, I don't talk to anybody else in person but you.
And I go to work too, so
right.
You're alone more than you're with people.
It's true.
And he's on this moon base completely alone, except for an AI, which is not the same thing.
No.
There's no physical touch. Like he even says, he is so lonely that he'll take a high five, a handshake, anything. He just wants physical contact.
Yeah.
But when we first meet him, he's just kind of going about his routine, and he's ready to go home, and he's worried about, they should really get that stuff up and running because it's going to be really inconvenient for the next guy who comes in.
Right.
If the communication is still down, that's really going to suck because it sucked for me.
Yeah.
And he's getting a haircut from the robot.
With a Flowbee.
Yep. And he's whittling because what else has he got to do?
Yeah. Where did they get all that wood from?
I don't know. Does it matter?
No, it really doesn't.
He needs a hobby, and
he has very few hobbies. He does have the opportunity to watch TV, but of course it's all old 60s TV
it's like
shows.
Bewitched and the Mary Tyler Moore show. And then he also exercises. So he's got a treadmill and a jump rope, and that's kind of his routine. He gets up, he works out, he watches TV.
Yeah.
And the first time we see anything weird, he's watching TV, He turns the TV off. He goes to make himself a cup of tea, and he's filling it up with hot water, a cup with hot water.
Yeah.
And there's a woman sitting in the chair.
Yeah. We have no idea who this woman is. It never comes up again.
No. So what did you take that to me? I feel like if we were to go back and watch it, it's his daughter.
Okay.
Like his grown-up daughter.
Okay.
That is my only working theory. Because, yeah, he looks over and there's somebody sitting in the chair and he burns his hand and then the person's gone.
Right. And there was also a person outside. Like when he crashes, I think that was the same person.
Yes.
Okay.
So he's seeing a vision.
Yeah.
So which is why we assume he's nutso.
Well, yeah. And that's what the audience is made to believe. That he's going a little nuts. He's been out there for 3 years and you know what? It's time for him to leave.
Right. He is very ready to be done with this.
There was another thing that I pointed out while we were watching it. While he was watching a message from his wife, there was like an edit, like a quick edit in the footage where she's like sitting backwards, and then when it edits, she's like leaning over to the side.
Oh, I didn't even catch
and
that.
he notices it, I think, at the time, but he doesn't really react all that much. So that was something. Because why would there be an edit in a message that you send to your husband? Unless it was edited by the company.
Fair.
So those are the things that start to come to mind. That, the company he works for is up to no good here.
Right. And everything's going fine. But yeah, he sees this woman in a chair and he burns his hand.
Yeah.
Then he goes out on a mission to one of the harvesters. And he's driving through. He has to they show it once before. He basically has to drive into the harvester to get the canister, but he has to line it up right between the two sides of it behind it.
There's a ramp that he goes up into, and there's like debris coming out from the harvester.
So he's used to driving through the debris to get to this entry. But he's distracted because he's like not sleeping and he's tired and he's ready to go home and he's already disturbed because he saw a woman sitting in a chair.
Yep.
Now he sees someone out in the smoke, and he ends up getting caught beneath the track. He drives right into the back, not the tire. It's not a tire, but it's a track. And he's kind of crushed and stuck in that machinery.
Right.
And then he wakes up in the infirmary.
As we are led to believe. Yeah, so he wakes up in the infirmary, and he's very weak.
Yeah. He doesn't know how long he's been out.
Yep.
And
Gertie is there.
Gertie, the AI.
To wake him up and help him out. And Gertie keeps saying, oh yeah, you just need to take it easy for a few days.
Yep, you haven't been out that long.
They're going to slow down the harvesters for a while because they know that you're not going to be able to go out there to harvest them and things like that.
And he gets up and he can't walk.
Yeah.
So, of
He's
course,
all wobbly.
I figured there was at least something funny happening here because I was like,
Right.
how long has he been out?
Yeah.
Because they say, oh, not long. You haven't been out long. But if he can't walk, that suggests that he's been out for at least weeks.
But my real question here is, how did he get back?
Right.
There's no way that with the infrastructure that they have there, Gertie is not a thing that has the ability to extract a human outside of that rover.
Right, and they don't really address it, and they resolve it pretty quickly.
They just kind of go through it, and thankfully the writers here, they had the audience in mind.
Yes.
Because he starts asking the questions that I was asking.
Yes, Sam wakes up, and he's like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, and he's like stumbling out, and we kind of overhear a conversation that Gertie's having with home base. And it's a live conversation.
A live feed.
With two people that we had no idea they were in the movie.
Yeah.
Two people we know. Benedict Wong, who was in the Doctor Strange movies.
Yep.
And Matt Berry.
Most people know him
Yes.
from the TV show What We Do in the Shadows.
Amongst a lot of other things, like British TV
the
shows.
IT crowd.
Matt Berry is one of the funniest motherfuckers you will ever come across.
He is
Look
very
up his
funny.
stuff. He has a very weird sense of humor, but I love it so much.
It's very British. So yeah, he and Benedict Wong only show up on screen. They never are shown in person.
Yeah.
They're on a screen. They're with this company he works for, and they're giving him messages. And of course, in this conversation, they're telling Gertie, well, we don't have time, just move on, kind of a thing. Like, shut the Harvester down. We're wasting time. Corporate speak, basically. Keep the money flowing.
Right. Like, you need to get this new guy up and running quickly, or get this guy up and running quickly, so that we can continue on.
Yeah, you cannot have a gap in the process.
Yep.
We must keep things moving. And of course, Gertie, the machine, sees Sam and quickly turns the conversation off.
Right, saying you're not supposed to be up and around.
Yep, you a few more days,
and I imagine that the AI is programmed to know that there is time here before the new clone. We haven't said the word clone yet, but there's time between when the new clone is active and able to actually work, so that they can take care of whatever else in between.
Well, and like they say later, there have been, defects and cognitive issues, and the clones aren't perfect. They sometimes are great and sometimes they are not. Mm-hmm. And he's like having to do tests and things like matching games. Cognitive tests. And I kind of figured it about this point of the movie when he's clearly been out for a while and he can't walk. It's very suspicious.
Yeah.
That something weird is happening here. Because it's a sci-fi. Yeah. You have to assume something is weird. Yeah. And clone had popped into my head.
Yep.
Because, again, that's kind of this kind of movie. Mm-hmm. But how they execute it is a little different. And I think what makes this movie interesting.
I agree.
So he's kind of going about his life, but he's also locked in to this base, and Gertie won't let him out.
They're not letting him out, because if he goes out and he sees that other rover out there stuck underneath the harvester, then he's going to know something is up, and he can look inside and see, hey, that's me.
Right, which is exactly what he does. He goes and he rescues the other guy.
Well, and before that, he makes some kind of excuse. He sabotages one of the gas lines or whatever to make it so that, you need to let me out just in case there's something going on outside.
Yeah, I have to go and examine the exterior hull.
Right. Well, which is weird because Gertie is correct. There is nothing going on outside. There's nothing going on that needs to be fixed.
Gertie's a robot. Gertie's not stupid.
Gertie is a robot. He knows what's going on. But he is also programmed to help Sam. Mm-hmm. No matter what it is. And I think that part
even if it's against his programming, he's programmed to do it.
Yeah, like his prime directive, if you want to call it that, is to help Sam in whatever else that he needs to do.
Even if that means breaking the rules of
the other rules. Yeah.
Which is interesting because, usually it's, I'm sorry, Hal.
Right.
I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that.
Yeah, it's just the opposite of that.
So he busts a pipe. Gertie lets him out. Mm-hmm. He finds the other Sam.
Yeah.
And of course, he's all beat to hell because he's been in an accident.
Yep.
And he's very weak.
And it's been days.
And Sam is like, what the hell? Sam, number one, who's alive and healthy.
Right.
Why does he look like me? What's going on?
Yeah.
But then he just sort of works it out in his own head because it's the only thing that makes sense. That must be a clone.
Right.
And so he is convinced that the guy who was in the crash is the clone.
Yeah.
Not himself, mind you.
Of course.
Not himself.
And I think that's just a human nature kind of a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have just enough memories and feelings and emotions implanted into them artificially that they think they are humans.
Yep.
And he refers to himself like, we are people. And I will not go down with this ship because I'm a person.
Yes.
And then it's just like a long sequence of them sort of working out what the hell is happening here.
Yeah.
Because one has been there for seemingly a very long time, and he's sitting there whittling, and there's like little giveaways. Like he says, how long has it taken you to make that? And he just flat out says, I don't remember doing all of this.
Right.
Because he didn't.
Yeah.
It's been a group effort.
So, like, they're kind of revealing everything in real time here as these people are getting it through their own head.
Right. And the new Sam figures out pretty quickly, he's like, no, man, you're a clone.
Yep.
There's got to be, it would be cheaper. Think about it. From a factory standpoint, why would you get a new person? Why would you train them? That's a lot of knowledge. Get them all the way up here. Get them all the way up here. It's a 3-day trip to Earth and back, why not just have clones ready to go and turn them on when you need to?
Yeah.
He's just figures this out.
Which, and of course, we don't really know because it is the future.
Yeah.
The future, Betsy?
The future, Trent.
It is the future, so we don't know how aware they are of what like technology is in the world. So by 2026, I hope not, but by 2026, we might have fully functioning clone technology, and we just don't know it yet.
We do have clone technology, but it only extends as far as like sheep.
I know. And I get that.
That has not advanced in 30 years.
Yes, but my point here is we don't know how familiar they are with cloning in general.
The concept.
Yeah.
Like if it's a well-known technology.
Yeah, if we were in the same situation and we didn't know that cloning technology was really a thing for humans, we would be completely freaked out. He's not that freaked out.
He's really not. He's kind of eyeballing him suspiciously.
Yeah.
But then the rest of his fake humanity kicks in,
Yeah.
and he acknowledges this is another person, and clearly this must be what's going on. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Right.
So he's very rational for a clone. And he just goes on a tirade like, there's got to be a secret room. I'm going to find this damn secret room, and starts tearing apart the space base.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have like a fun sequence of like the two of them learning to play ping pong with each other and whittling and watching TV and
in
eating.
reality, the old Sam has been there for 3 years.
So that might be true, but that might not necessarily be true. Like, I know that Gertie says, well, we can't activate a new clone until the 3-year contract is up. So it's possible that this clone has been going for the full 3 years. But I feel like it's also possible that it's just, again, that memory implanted things. Maybe he's only been there weeks or months. Who knows?
Right. And the reason why I think the 3 years is true is because of what we're kind of being shown here of the planned obsolescence of the clones. And by that, I mean, these clones are only meant to live for 3 years.
They're not built very well.
Well, and I think by the end here, he's like breaking down. He's not healing at all.
I don't think they can heal per se.
I have to imagine that they can heal, but
maybe like small cuts, not giant internal wounds.
Right, by the end of their lifespan, let's say, they're not supposed to heal. They start breaking down, so it's easier for them to get rid of them, I guess. Now, here's a question. When they get to like the pod that they get into at the end where they have the video going.
Yeah.
There's like a thing on the outside of the container.
Knobby.
A little knob. Is that ashes?
Yeah, so they showed this video. He accesses the computer files.
Yeah.
And he watches this sequence of videos that have different dates. Some of them are dated 2007, presumably, because they say something 07.
Sure.
But then they have one that ends in 15, and then they have one that ends in 26. So the implication is that it's not 3 years. This has been going on for several cycles.
Yeah,
of
this has
3
been going on
years.
for decades.
So yeah, decades at this point. And at the end of the cycle, they show them getting into a cryogenic pod,
right,
so that they can go on their journey back. And on the video, again, you're watching it through a camera on a screen that's pointed at the pod, and you watch a number of these other clones crawl into a pod, and then there's a bright light. Now, you could assume it's a cryo chamber.
Yep.
I am assuming that's
an incinerator.
An incinerator, yes.
Yeah. So that's why I saw when he put his finger on there, those are ashes of the other clones.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is exactly what they are. So at the end of the 3-year contract, they crawl into this pod because they're told that's what they're supposed to do, because now they get to go home, but that's not where they're going.
Nope.
They're zapped into, they're maybe put to sleep first, and then incinerated, but they're incinerated.
They also say, bro, breathe deeply.
Yeah. Yeah, they prepare them, and compliance is much easier in that situation to get rid of them.
Right, and of course, by the end of their 3-year cycle, like, they're just exhausted. They really, really want to go home. They're not going to think twice about what's going to happen to them.
And they're
thing.
Feeling unwell in a lot of cases, and their body is worn out. It's time to go. Yeah.
That's my thoughts here about I don't think that they're meant to live more than 3 years.
Fair. That's fair. It's just a matter of how long this one has lived.
Right.
And of course, they figure out there's going to be a rescue mission. So this new pod is coming, the Eliza, a rescue ship, because business must keep moving. They're there to fix the harvester. Excuse me. And so they figure out, well, we can't both be here at the same time.
Right. They're there to basically reset everything.
Yes.
So if there's
they're the cleanup crew.
Yeah, that's exactly what they are. So they're there to fix the harvester, to get the rover back and fix the rover, repair whatever needs to be repaired, and probably wake up another clone if they had just fucked off and died somewhere, or they went into the incinerator and this is their time. They only go up there once every 3 years or when they need to.
Right, probably just when they need to.
Yeah.
Just so the business keeps moving. They probably show up and take care of whatever clone is there, which is why I'm saying, maybe if they had to be up there to fix the machinery at any time, they might just get rid of the clone at that time.
Right, because you're not going to try to explain what's going on.
No.
Yeah.
And then give them a point of reference of time.
Right.
The whole point is they don't need to know how long they've been there.
Exactly.
They always wake up and are told there was an accident and they've been asleep. You're still so tired. Just stay asleep for a while longer.
How long have I been out? Oh, a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same story over and over. But yeah, they kind of figure out, okay, this isn't going to work. But the first Sam is falling apart and, puking up blood and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And losing teeth. He's literally falling apart.
Yeah.
The other one is still young and spry. The younger one convinces the machine, Gertie, to wake up a third clone because his plan is we're going to put the third clone back in the wreck because they're going to be expecting to find a body.
Yep.
You're going to go back to Earth and I'm going to stay here.
Right.
That's his plan. But of course, because the other one is falling apart and degrading so quickly, he says, I ain't going anywhere. I can't even use my legs.
Right. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done. So you're going to go back to Earth. And that's what happens. He takes him back out to the pod and he plants him there and he's just sort of left to die. And I don't know, I was unclear. Was he actually dead or were they just leaving him to die?
I think they're just leaving him to die because they say, oh yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Right. But of course, when they show up, he's pointing a gun at him.
Yes. Yes. Cleanup crew.
This is the kind of rescue mission we have. He shows up with a gun in space.
Of course. What are you doing with a gun in space? It's the second time I've been able to say that line.
It's the only line of dialogue that matters.
If you do not know, that is from Armageddon.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Armageddon by now,
Jesus Christ,
where
what the
have
fuck
you
is
been?
wrong with you?
Anyhow, so yeah, he does that. The clone is woken up, but he hasn't, he's not aware yet. He's still just kind of
Yep. And they're
thawing
going through
out.
the same rigmarole that they normally do, and that's just revealing to the audience that, it doesn't matter what's happening here. As soon as a clone wakes up, it's the same cycle over and over again.
He has since ventured out by this point and figured out that this cycle's been going on a lot longer than he thought.
Yep.
We find out
He
that
is a clone.
He is a clone.
Yep.
His wife, once he finally is able to get an actual signal and do a live feed, he calls his home.
Yeah.
And this young woman answers.
This teenage girl answers, and who is his daughter, and he asks about her mother, and she's died.
Yeah. She's
years
been dead
ago.
for years.
Yeah.
And he thought his daughter was almost 3 years old. They
Right.
say her birthday is next month, so you'll be back for her third birthday. And she's in reality 15 years old. Okay, so here's the big question.
Okay.
He's on that call. He says, when did mommy die? What happened? When did mommy die?
Yeah.
And she says, Dad,
Yep.
there's somebody on the phone asking about mom.
Yep.
That was him.
Yes, that was another Sam.
So logic dictates that's the real Sam.
The original.
Because the whole question you have about this movie is, who is the real Sam? Where is the
Right.
real Sam? What's
Right.
going on here? So yes, I think that he is still on Earth, but the whole contract has been he basically donated his genetics, or he was paid to give them his genetic code to be able to make these clones.
You could have so many different theories here. I don't know if there's a good answer to any of them. But I think you're right that Sam is the real Sam because the clone Sams are not made to last.
Right. But yeah, the whole time you're wondering, where is Sam?
Yeah.
And where did these memories come from? He was a real person.
Right.
But where is he?
Right.
And that is the only conclusion I could draw because that's clearly his voice.
It is. Sam Rockwell has a very distinct voice.
He does. He does.
But yeah, you could say not only are they paying him for his genetic code to make the clones, but he's also providing information about his life to imprint the memories. Mm-hmm. And you only need so much because a man of that age, a man who has a family and a newborn-ish, they are only really obsessed about one thing, getting home. Mm-hmm. So you're going to do exactly what you're going to do, what you need to do to get home for those 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's all about compliance.
Yeah.
He has a goal in mind and he will, and he's got like a backstory too. Like he had an anger problem and his wife left him for a while and he's trying to get her back and work it out.
Yep.
So he's working on improving himself and he has a daughter who he hasn't met and he wants to meet her.
Yep.
So there's all these things driving him.
Yes.
And it's easy to see how they can keep him on track with a little help from a robot.
Indeed. So what did you think about the robot? What did you think about Gertie as like this? Like normally in a movie like this, the AI and like the robots, they have more to do.
Right. So either the robot turns out to be evil or the robot helps them in every way and has like a humorous personality or something.
Yeah.
So in this movie, like I touched on, he literally is there to help Sam. Whichever Sam, whenever, it doesn't matter. Even if it goes against the mission overall.
Right.
So like he's about to get on the shuttle and leave. And Gertie says, well, I'm going to know all about this. And I'm going to be able...
the company is going to know if they look at my memory banks.
And he tells him, but here's the thing. If you reboot my computer right before you leave, I won't remember.
Right.
It'll wipe my drive.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what he does. So he literally helps him and he turns around and says, yep, here's the buttons. Push the buttons.
Yep.
And he's like, why are you helping me? Because that's my job. My job is to help you.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really think that there's much really more to say about it other than, he's got this emotion indicator on the little face on the screen, just to indicate this is the emotion that I'm trying to portray, even though he's a very monotone kind of a voice.
Yep. He's got a smiley face and a big smiley face and a crying face.
And a sad face.
And a confused face.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And that's the only way on a little tiny 3-inch screen.
Yeah.
To try to have some glimpse of humanity.
Because it's only 2026, our AI isn't that good yet.
Right. Our AI isn't, but we can have a clone. That makes sense.
Of course.
We told you before, this movie is really giving you all the pieces as you're going. So, when he goes out on the mission, the first time you see all of the different rovers, and there's 3 of them.
Yep.
And then later, after he's had his accident, there's only 1. And so he's like, wait, where's the other? One is missing.
It's constantly giving you status updates on what is happening with the rovers. Mm-hmm. And his job is to go out as soon as the rover is full, to take the canister, bring it back to base, and put it out on this sled to get it back to Earth.
Yeah. And he says, well, that one's broken. The new one notices the thing is broken.
Right.
And Gertie just gives him some excuse. But of course, the real reason is it's broken because the other clone crashed his car into his rover. Yeah. And so it's just like, there's a suit missing. Well, that's because he still got the suit.
Right.
And, there's fun little moments. There's humor between the two of them. When the first one is having a psychotic break, so to speak, he's dancing to Katrina and the Waves, Walking on Sunshine. Because we've talked about this before. It's really hard to have a movie with Sam Rockwell where you don't allow him to dance.
Yeah.
And
could you explain that portion to me? Because I don't really know the backstory with him dancing.
I think he's just one of those guys that likes to dance and he's good at it. I don't really know.
The thing I read was that's how he gets into his character. He dances.
Oh, okay.
So when he does the thing in Iron Man 2 when he's dancing out on stage. That wasn't in the script. He wasn't supposed to be dancing, but that's how he just amps himself up.
I mean, that makes sense. He does strike me as the kind of guy that just likes to boogie.
All right.
And, that scene in particular is the first
That's
guy
a funny scene,
is
yeah.
like, I'm going to dance because I have too many problems and I'm just going to deal with them by dancing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the other Sam has anger issues and he just wants to say, shut up for a minute and let me talk to you.
Let me talk. This is some serious stuff.
Like, they have different personalities.
Well,
So-
they're in different portions of their life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think let's just talk for a little bit about the execution of this, because obviously having one actor playing two roles,
Yep.
you have to be very careful about direction and editing and all that to make it look good.
Yeah.
And this is pretty seamless. Like there's some pretty obvious shots, like when they're playing ping pong, there's a dividing line.
Yeah.
And one of them stays on the back side of the table and one of them is at the front.
Totally.
To make it easy
They
to
never
edit.
cross each other.
They rarely cross each other. It's not never, but it's rare. And they also have a lot of body double stand-ins.
Right, like where the camera's behind them. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
So you
and
see
that's
the back of their head.
And that just happens in movies. So
Yes.
that's not a unique thing to this. But yeah, when like they have a fight.
Yes.
Like the concept of an actor fighting with himself is an interesting thing.
Yeah, and of course he says the one that's new and young and healthy.
New Sam.
He says, "I barely touched you." Meanwhile, the other one is like gushing blood.
Right.
Because he's not
Which is
meant
again
to
that's
sustain.
Yeah, that is another revelation that is just casually dropped. That yeah, man, why is there so much blood? I barely touched you, and yeah, he's just deteriorating from the inside.
He's internally
Like
damaged.
his skin is just like white. And like he's
sweating
he's
and-
not healing. Yeah, he's sweating, and like he says, "I'm so cold, but I'm sweating." And yeah,
Yeah, he's in bad shape. Bad shape. Throws up blood a lot. Loses
there's a lot of
teeth.
that.
Yeah, and then he can't walk. He literally says, "I can't use my legs. I'm not
Right.
going anywhere."
Right.
And yeah, when they do find the secret hatch finally, there's so many clones.
Yeah.
So many. It goes forever.
Yeah, and I pointed out to you, they didn't really get into it in the movie, but there are little lights next to the pods.
Yeah.
Some of them are white, most of them are white, and then the remaining ones are all red. So, and the one that they pull open is red. So what's that about?
So the one that they pull open has a clone in it.
Yes, that's
So-
a freshie.
I would have to go back and look at it, but my assumption is if it's white, it's empty.
Yeah.
And if it's red, that's got a clone in it,
Right.
implying every single one of those has been a Sam at one time or another.
That's possible.
But they're kind of running out.
That's possible, yeah.
So maybe he is running to the end of his tenure
Yep.
because his, 100 or whatever clones are now gone.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. It's an interesting movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here. And I was very captivated. I was very intrigued. And of course, at the end of the movie, the first one is left there to die.
Yep.
The cleanup crew comes. There's a new one on the planet, so they're not going to bother him.
Yep.
And they'll just find him sleeping on the table. So the other one just gets back to Earth, and they show him like in the pod, this little
Yeah.
bitty pod, getting some G's, going woo, woo,
As he's re-entering, yeah.
as he's re-entering the planet. And there's sort of a sound, there's audio playing.
Yeah.
Where it's like news footage or something.
Yeah.
And they're saying, well, the clone made it back to Earth, and he's like testifying against this company.
Right.
And
The
people.
clone of Sam Lake
Yeah.
testified about this company and blah, blah, blah. And there's also like a fucking, like a fake Rush Limbaugh saying, I don't know where he's coming from, but he must be an illegal immigrant or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the movie. So
Yeah,
we
that's where it
really-
cuts off.
We really don't get a conclusion other than company evil,
Right.
clone still alive, and we're going to take them down.
Right. But do they really? I think
do
that's
they really?
that's really where this is coming from. The message here is evil company, and they're just gonna get away with it.
I genuinely thought that he was not going to make it back to Earth. I thought that he was going to get in the pod, and that was also going to incinerate him or something. I thought he would end up incinerated and the cycle would continue.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's how I thought this would end. Like, no happy ending at all.
Yeah.
Which I feel like would have worked too.
I think it might have been a better movie because I don't think you needed all those audio clips of like what's happening back on Earth and what he does. I think it should have ended when he got shot out and have no conclusion. Whether he makes it back to Earth or not, or whether it incinerates him or not, shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
I think the cycle was going to continue no matter what happens.
Yeah, I was just prepared for it to end very badly. Where, okay, that Sam dies, this Sam dies, and we just wake up a new one and start again.
Right.
Because that's this kind of movie. Clearly, this has been going on for decades.
Right. And like the themes here are, you know, it's free will, it is slavery. Like, you don't really come out and say it, but
humanity.
It's really slavery, and it's a lot of humanity and the things that you hang on to even though you're not there. And even though these people who you're getting messages from are not actually that age anymore, this is just all pre-recorded. It is just to keep you docile.
It's a story.
Yeah.
It's a story you're
being
told.
fed to you.
Yep. To keep you moving.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is an interesting movie. I liked this one.
Yeah, I do too.
I like a good sci-fi, and, you know, this one's easily digestible because of the themes. They're very common, like, easy to understand.
And not only that, but like I said before, they're asking, like, Sam is asking the questions that I was asking. Almost at around the same time in the movie. Like, why is this guy here? Why does he look like me? Yeah, those are the questions that I'm asking, and they just address it all. I don't think there's a lot of unanswered questions for the entire thing.
No, I think the biggest unanswered questions are, how long has this actually been going on?
Yep.
And where is the real Sam?
Yeah.
I think those, or in the very least, if that is where, if we've answered where Sam is, why is this happening?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's really well executed. I think it's interesting. You know, it could have been really predictable because I think you and I both were like, well, it's a clone, right? There's got to be something going on here with like a double or maybe like time or something.
Right.
Which is the,
or there's
which
like,
is the,
he encounters something on the moon that is like a time travel thing.
Right. So those are the tropes of sci-fi. So I appreciated that they didn't go there.
Yeah. This is, for lack of a better term, more down to earth.
Look what you did.
That's
there.
where we're going to end it, folks. No emails today just because, full disclosure, Betsy and I are recording a few of these in advance because we're going on vacation. We're not going to miss any days.
We don't want to disappoint you listeners.
Every Wednesday and Sunday is going to still come your way every time. But we're actually going to be going on vacation here very soon in the real time when we are recording this. So we will hopefully have a whole bunch of emails and tweets and whatever else waiting for us when we get back to recording.
And we can do that by you guys giving them to us.
Yes, please. So please email us at neverseenitpod@gmail.com. Tweet at us and follow us on Twitter, neverseenit_pod. If you want to support the show and pay for this vacation we're taking, click the link in the podcast description and you can throw us a buck on Anchor. And if you can't do that, just share it with your friends. Put it on your socials, and rate us on iTunes. Yeah, that's all I got for this one. This here Moon.
Moon.
M-O-O-N. Not June. Mune.
Why are the easiest titles the hardest?
Four-letter titles are the worst, I guess. But anyway, that's the end of the show. My name is Trent.
My name is Betsy.
And we'll catch you next time on Never Seen It.
Thanks, guys.